Matches out.
Earl Atkins plays in glasses. Last year, played in contact lenses. Tarmolin and Beck, both boys stand 6'7", move into jump center. So stand by for a tremendous ball game as we're ready with a tip-off. Here it is. Beck controls the tap to Johnny Cox. He flips off to Hatton, down the left side quickly to the basket, drives, hooks, and misses. Tarmolin rebounds for Tennessee. Whips out to Ammerman. Tennessee gets a 2-4 break going. Showalter off the right side, picked up by Cox. Passes to Tarmolin under the basket. It's picked up by Coulter, and a fall-away shot's no good. Rebound by Earl Atkins, who knocks it to the outside and takes control. So each team gets one good shot to start the ball game, and no score yet. Atkins in front court for Kentucky. Right side to Krigler, outside Hatton. He fakes, breaks, a 20-foot jump shot, no good. Off with it is Atkins for the rebound at the top rim of the circle. Over to Hatton, back to Atkins. In the pivot, it goes to Beck at the free throw line. Spins to the right. Ball knocked down by Ammerman. Picked up by Beck. He hooks short to the right. Atkins goes for it, knocks it down and out of bounds. A foul is called against Earl Atkins. So that's the first foul of the ball game. Earl Atkins rebounding. So Tennessee's Leon Ammerman goes to the free throw line. Ammerman will shoot one on the backcourt foul. The 5'11" Tennessee guard stands in trying to break the scoreless tie. Flips it up, no good. Tapped up by Showalter, no good, and Cox gets the rebound for Kentucky over to Hatton moving in front court. Angles left, pulls up out deep, passes to Cox. A two-hop dribble at the top of the circle and over to Krigler. He breaks away from Ammerman, and a hooking foul on Tennessee's captain, Leon Ammerman. So each team commits one foul here in the first 2 minutes of play, and it's Krigler of Kentucky at the free throw line. Game still scoreless here in Knoxville on this final regular season game. Here's Krigler's free throw. No good. Beck taps, no good. Tarmolin rebounds. Beck knocks it away, and it's out of bounds. Goes to Kentucky, opposite Tennessee guard Bob Risser. Ed Beck will put it in play. Out of bounds with it to the right of the basket. Passes to Cox. He takes a 20-foot jump shot, and it's good. So Johnny Cox gets the scoring started with the first field goal. 2-0 Wildcats. And Bob Risser of Tennessee walks up the backcourt yelling his play. Here's the crisscross at the 10-second line. Atkins on Coulter. Pass goes over to Coulter, who's got Hatton on. Atkins moves to the right, and on a screen, Tarmolin breaks in on Beck, goes all the way and lays it in. Beautiful play by Gene Tarmolin to tie it at 2-2. Tarmolin was playing the right side forward then. Now Kentucky swings back to our right. On the attack to Johnny Cox and back to Hatton, outside to Krigler. Covered up by Risser. He gives to Beck, who breaks to the right, gives to Cox. Here's the jump shot. It's no good. 3-second violation has been called against Kentucky, and Tennessee takes over in backcourt, tied 2-2. In front court, Kenny Coulter of Tennessee over to Bob Risser, out deep to the right. Earl Atkins is on Bob Risser. Down the right side to Tarmolin. Got Ammerman in the pivot now. Tarmolin playing a forward. Here it is out to Risser. Looks at Ammerman on the pivot. Gives over to Coulter. Breaks down the right side. Looks into the pivot for Ammerman, who doesn't come up to the free throw line, and the pass is back out front to Kenny Coulter. Down the left side forward it goes to Ammerman. Back to Coulter, shoots it under there to Tarmolin. He dropped it. Cox picks it up for Kentucky. Score still 2-2 as Cox gives to Atkins in front court. On the right side, deep, he gets back out to Johnny Cox. Takes it to the top of the circle, and a jump shot good. Johnny Cox with both Kentucky field goals as the Cats lead by 4-2. Bob Risser gives a bounce pass into Coulter, takes a return play. Now we got Tarmolin back in the pivot, with Ammerman playing the forward on the right side. Tarmolin out at the top rim of the circle in the pivot, faces Beck, who backs away. He moves to the left of the jump shot, no good, but Tarmolin rebounding Ammerman wide open, lays it in, and the whistle did the goal count. No signal from the official whether the goal counted or did not count. It did not count as Ammerman had his foot on the baseline. Here's a leading pass to Krigler, goes under the basket, passes to Cox. 30-foot jump shot, good. Johnny Cox goes with a long rifle for his third field goal, and the Cats lead by 6-2. Tennessee going back to the attack now as they fall off the pace by 4 points for the first time. Ammerman on the right side gets away from Hatton, drives on Krigler, lays it up. No good. A foul is called on Kentucky. John Krigler. Hatton lost Ammerman on a switch, got in behind him, and Ammerman broke. Krigler tried to come out and cover up. So it's the first personal on Krigler, the second on Kentucky, and Ammerman goes to the Tennessee free throw line for 2 tries. Ammerman is 0 for 1 as the first one's good. Reduces the Kentucky lead to 6-3. Foul in the act of shooting. Ammerman has another one coming. That, incidentally, is the first of 3 free throws good in this game. Second one's also good by Ammerman. And the score is Kentucky 6, Tennessee 4. Vernon Hatton walks up the backcourt, lets Beck go by, and then a bounce pass to Krigler on the right. Back to Hatton, outside to Cox. Moving to the right side. He's open from 20 feet. It's no good. Tarmolin knocks it out of bounds. Kentucky will take it to the left of the basket over the baseline, leading 6-4. We've played 3 minutes 45 seconds here at Knoxville. Ed Beck gives to Cox in the left corner. Palms that ball, whips to Beck, and here's a 10-foot hook. Good. That ball got 3 bounces on the rim before giving Beck his first field goal, and Kentucky their second 4-point lead at 8-4. 4 minutes gone and 16 to go in the first half. Bob Risser up in front court for Tennessee, closely guarded by Earl Atkins, starting his first game of the season. Over it goes to Kenny Coulter now, breaks down the right side, uses Ammerman for his screen. Atkins comes through, and the pass is back out to Risser. He breaks right side with both guards going for him, gives in to Ammerman, and a hook. It's good. Ammerman out of the pivot, hooking for his first field goal. Moves Tennessee back within 2 points at 8-6. These two ball clubs are primed for a good one tonight. Here's Atkins in front court, right side to Krigler, back to Atkins moving down the right side. Out to Johnny Cox, moves to the free throw line, breaks to the left, screen collapses, gives one to Atkins, knocked away, picked up by Beck, out to Cox, over to Krigler, top of the circle. Now it goes right side to Hatton. Hatton weaves, gets a screen from Beck, can't get out of there, and here's Cox out of the right corner, no good, taking it off Tarmolin of Tennessee. Here it is up to Ammerman as the Volunteers have a chance to tie it up. Ammerman moves into the pivot at the free throw line. Passes back out front to Coulter. Moves on the left side. Back out front it goes to Risser. Tarmolin goes to the pivot as it goes over to Coulter. Coulter down the right side to Tarmolin. Tarmolin turns, breaks for the basket, falls away from Beck and misses. Up for the rebound is Showalter. Batted away by Hatton. Showalter lays it up, no good. Slap to the outside. Atkins has got it for Kentucky, still leading 8-6. Atkins back in front court, cuts, goes right down the middle. A tripping foul is called against Tennessee. Goes against Bob Risser. That's the first foul on Risser and the second foul on each team. Atkins of Kentucky at the free throw line. 5 minutes and 20 seconds have been played. Atkins with one shot. Cox and Beck have all the Kentucky points. Atkins stands in, feet close together, pounding the ball into the floor now. Set and ready to go. The one-handed free throw's good. So Atkins is the third Wildcat to score. Kentucky leads by 9-6 on their first free throw conversion. Now Kenny Coulter of Tennessee in front court against Vernon Hatton. Bounce pass to Tarmolin, 30 feet away on the pivot. Straight away outside. Now it goes over to Risser, down the right side to Ammerman. He breaks out, gets free from 15 feet. Shot no good. Off the rim to Ammerman, who breaks into the right corner to get it. Starts down the baseline, double team, gives out to Risser. From 10 feet, he missed it. Taken off by Johnny Cox. A beautiful twisting rebound. Whipped up to Krigler at midcourt. 3-2 break over to Atkins, who lays it in. Beautiful stumbling play as Atkins was off balance for his first field goal. Kentucky leads now 11-6. Up in the front court, here's Risser passing to Ammerman on the pivot. A foul is called. Atkins of Kentucky got hung up on the screen and committed his second foul. That's 3 against Kentucky as Ammerman goes to the free throw line where he's hit 2 out of 3. Ammerman lined Atkins up, and when Atkins hit him, Ammerman was pivoting. So one shot comes to the Tennessee captain. Here it is. Good. Kentucky takes possession, leading by 11-7 after 6 minutes here in Knoxville. Here's Earl Atkins moving over the 10-second stripe for the Wildcats. High pivot pass goes to Ed Beck, leaps and gets it, hands out to Hatton. A 25-foot one-hander is no good. Bounces high off the rim. Beautiful rebound by Johnny Cox, who brings it out into the right corner. Bounce pass to Beck. Cox breaks by, gets it, and slips. Walking is called. Cox had both feet on the floor, and they slid. He didn't actually walk. He slipped. Here's Bob Risser taking it into the right corner for Tennessee. Hatton knocks it down through the legs of Beck. Cox picks it up for Kentucky. Got a man behind him, saw him just in time as he passed over to Earl Atkins, and Atkins had it taken away from him by the same man, Kenny Coulter of Tennessee. Gives it over to Bob Risser, and the Volunteers set it down now, trailing by 4 points. Risser gives on the right side to Ammerman. He breaks out, gets away from Krigler, lays it up and in. John Krigler couldn't quite catch up with Ammerman, who got his second field goal, and it cuts the Kentucky lead to 2 points at 11-9. Vernon Hatton in front court gives to Atkins. He moves slowly to the right off of a screen, goes to the baseline, turns and lays it up and in and out. Taken off by Tarmolin of Tennessee. Cats had an 11-6 lead. Now it's 11-9. Here's Kenny Coulter, 25-footer, good. Kenny Coulter of Tennessee with his first field goal ties it up 11-11. And that gets plenty of excitement out of these Volunteer fans. Vernon Hatton back in front court for the Wildcats. Fakes right side, gives over to Atkins. Down the left side to Johnny Cox. He fakes Showalter, breaks to the baseline, almost lost it, holds on. Brings it out to the free throw line and walks with it. Twice in a row that walking has been called on Johnny Cox. And Tennessee takes over with a chance to get the lead. 12 minutes, 10 seconds here in the first half. Bob Risser in front court, feeds right side to Ammerman. Feeds right back to him, and he walked with it. Risser got the pass, but he couldn't hold on to it and traveled a couple of steps. Here's Hatton getting the incoming pass, moving slowly up the backcourt with an 11-all tie on the boards. Down the left side to Cox, back to Hatton. Atkins goes through out to Krigler, moves down the middle, all the way and lays it up, no good. Rolled off the rim to Bob Risser of Tennessee. Hatton moves in on him. Risser holds up and gives over to Kenny Coulter. And Coulter moves it into front court. Here's Krigler knocking one down. It's saved by Risser. Over to Ammerman. He from 10 feet misses. Outside rebound by Earl Atkins. Up in the front court. Here's Atkins driving to the free throw line, giving to Krigler a 20-footer to the left. Good. John Krigler with his first field goal puts Kentucky back in front 13-11. Now Tennessee attacking as Bob Risser moves over the center stripe. Tarbolin is playing off on the right side forward as they pull Ammerman back into the pivot. Kenny Coulter moves down the left side, gives to Showalter, faces Cox from 15 feet, misses. Rebounding, Earl Atkins. Nope, Krigler cut in front of him and got it. Whips to Atkins, moving in front court, 2 against 3 from 15 feet. Atkins hits. Earl Atkins with his second field goal puts the Wildcats on top 15-11 and timeout Tennessee. It's the first timeout of a well-played ball game. A tremendous contest here at Knoxville that shows 10 minutes, 55 seconds to play. And so with those 10 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock, the Wildcats are on top by a score of 15-11. Kentucky had a lead out 11-6, and Tennessee peeled off 5 to catch them. Here's the scoring so far. Johnny Cox, 6 points on the first 3 field goals for the Wildcats. Earl Atkins is next with 5, 2 field goals and a free throw. Ed Beck has 2 points and a field goal, and John Krigler 2 points and a field goal. He's missed the only free throw for the Wildcats. Tennessee's being led by Leon Ammerman, who's the game's leading scorer with 7, 2 field goals, 3 for 4 at the free throw line. Tarmolin, 2 points and a field goal, and Kenny Coulter, 2 points on a field goal. Earl Atkins, who at the timeout takes the chance to get his glasses polished off by Jay Atkerson, the manager, gets the last words from Coach Adolph Rupp as we get ready to go to play. Tennessee has the ball under the Kentucky basket off to the right. Kenny Coulter gets the incoming pass. Yells over to Bob Risser, who's talking as they come into the front court. Down the left side to Showalter, brings it out to the free throw line, gets loose, drives down the middle and misses with a whistle at the baseline and a foul against. Johnny Cox of Kentucky drawing his first foul of the game. That's 4 against Kentucky. 2 shots come to Dalen Showalter. Tennessee as a team has hit 3 out of 4. Here's Showalter's first one, good. All the Volunteers are in the scoring column except Bob Risser. All the Wildcats except Vernon Hatton. Neither team has made a substitution. Showalter's second shot's also good and cuts the Kentucky lead to 2 points at 15-13. Hatton gets the pass from Beck as we go back to the Kentucky front court now off to our right. 15-13 the score. Here's Hatton down the right side, watches Atkins, throws it right to Ammerman, who kicks it down, and John Krigler picks it up hands just before he stepped over the 10-second line to Vernon Hatton and over to Atkins. In the pivot it goes to Beck. Atkins goes by. Beck gives it to Ammerman this time, and now he's got it for sure. Breaks in on Cox and Krigler from 15 feet. He missed it. Krigler knocked it out of bounds. Kentucky had 3 men then, Beck, Cox, and Krigler, all to take the rebound with no opposition. Krigler knocked it out of bounds. So a mistake may give Tennessee a chance to tie it up. Risser, a deep pass to Coulter. He sets it up now. Ammerman is playing the pivot again as Tarmolin plays the right side forward. Here's Coulter from 20 feet, missing. Off for the rebound is Showalter. He falls away from Cox and misses with a whistle. A foul on Johnny Cox. That's the second foul on Cox and the 5th against Kentucky. There are 9 minutes, 50 seconds in the first half. 2 shots are going to Showalter, who hasn't missed a free throw, and so a chance to tie up this 15-13 game. Here's the first one, good. So Showalter, with his 3rd free throw, stands in with a chance to tie up this 15-14 contest. Showalter shoots. No good. Ammerman rebounds and Cox knocks it out of bounds. Tennessee keeps possession. Bob Risser will put it in play to the left of the basket, trailing by 1 point. Looks for his man open. A bounce pass comes into Tarmolin near the left corner. Breaks down the baseline on Cox and steps on it. Out of bounds to Kentucky. John Krigler into Vernon Hatton, who slows it up to talk something over with Earl Atkins, walking up the backcourt. 9.5 minutes to play. Up into front court, Hatton gives right side to Krigler, reverses court on Ammerman, who cuts him off at the baseline. Out to Beck from 20 feet. Good. Ed Beck on a 20-foot one-hand jump shot, his second field goal. Kentucky leads now by 17-14. Up into front court is Kenny Coulter. Coulter dances right side on Hatton, breaks down free throw line, lead deep, jump shot, good. Kenny Coulter with his second field goal brings the Volunteers back within a single point at 17-16 in 9 minutes in the first half. Earl Atkins in front court for the Wildcats. Right side to Krigler, back to Atkins, who takes it down the side, watches Hatton go through, looks at Beck, gives out deep to Cox. Now to Beck, free throw line, jump shot, no good, short. Nice rebound by Cox, lays it up, no good. Krigler taps it in. John Krigler with his second field goal puts Kentucky back in front by 3 points. It's 19-16. Bob Risser of Tennessee up in front court, guarded closely by Atkins, gives over to Kenny Coulter deep into the right. Down the right side to Ammerman as Tarmolin goes to the pivot. Outside to Kenny Coulter. Coulter staying deep. Starts right, cuts left, gives back deep to Risser. He breaks left on Hatton, who turns him to the outside. Back deep to Coulter. We got Showalter playing the pivot now. He backs off and Tarmolin goes in. Here it is down to Ammerman on the right side. Breaks away from Krigler down the middle. A foul is called. Earl Atkins of Kentucky drawing his third one. Stops the clock with 8 minutes, 45 seconds to play. Kentucky leading 19-16. On the free throw line, Ammerman has hit 3 out of 4. Almost every foul against Kentucky has been a 2-shot foul. This one is too. First one's good. And Adrian Smith waits now to become the first substitute of the game, and here he is waved in. Adrian Smith, 21-year-old senior from Farmington, 6 feet, weighs 178. Fourth score with 289 and a 12-point average. Big night in St. Louis with 21 against the Billikens. So Atkins comes out with those 3 personals, and there are now 6 against Kentucky as Ammerman, Tennessee trails by 2, now 1 as he drops in the second shot to make the score 19-18. Vernon Hatton gets the incoming pass now, waves Cox off the left side and back to that side of the pivot. Mows down, cuts to the middle, gives to Odie Smith, a 30-foot set shot, no good. Hatton rebounds. Coulter goes for him. He gives out to Smith, over to Krigler from 25 feet, short, Beck taps it in. Ed Beck with his third field goal sends the Wildcats back in front at 21-18. Back in front by 3. Here's Risser, deep, moving to the right on Hatton. Down the right side, Krigler switches to pick him up, goes to Ammerman, fakes back and walks with it, and it's out of bounds to Kentucky. Adrian Smith steps up into the crowd along the far sidelines and passes in to Hatton, who waves Cox off that left side forward again. Up in the front court now, Hatton moves left, gives to Odie Smith, moves down the left side, takes a 20-foot jump shot, in and out. Back in, Adrian Smith tickling one around there for his first field goal. He's the 5th Wildcat to score as Kentucky leads 23-18. Hatton still is pointless. Odie Smith is out on Kenny Coulter. Now over to Risser, a high one to Tarmolin at the free throw line. He takes the jump shot, in and out, and on the right side, Tarmolin knocks it out of bounds. Vernon Hatton quickly out, shoots one into Adrian Smith. Fast break can't go. Whip to Cox in front court. He drops it in the left corner and picks it up. Gives to Beck in the pivot, fakes to Cox, gives to Smith on the left side, back to Beck. 20-footer, good. Ed Beck leads in field goals for both teams with 4 as the Cats go on top for the first time by 7 points at 25-18. Here's Bob Risser up in front court for Tennessee. 6 minutes and 40 seconds in this first half of play as Coulter jump shoots and misses. Off for the rebound, Krigler and Risser fight, and the foul against John Krigler of Kentucky. It was a free ball as Krigler and Risser both went for it. They say that Krigler charged and committed his second foul, and the bonus rule is in effect. Bob Risser, the only volunteer that's pointless, stands in for 1 shot as the bonus rule goes into effect against the Wildcats. Tennessee's committed only 2 personals. Shot's good, and the bonus rule goes into effect as Tennessee has 5 men in the scoring column. Tennessee has only 5 field goals. Beck has 4 himself. Here's the second one good, the bonus try by Risser. Scores 25-20. Kentucky leads. Hatton back in front court, breaks right side. Awful screen by Beck, he shoots no good. Left side rebound by Cox, the hook, good. Johnny Cox gets his 4th field goal, and the Cats lead by 27-20. That was that windmill hook by Cox. Bob Risser of Tennessee in front court. Deep into the right side, passing left now to Kenny Coulter, breaks on Adrian Smith, gives to Ammerman. Against Krigler, he pulls up quickly and gives back to Risser. Down the right side on the baseline, foul from the rear by Adrian Smith. For Adrian Smith, that's personal foul number 1. Kentucky leads Tennessee 12-5 on field goals. The Tennessee's picked up a 10-1 edge on free throws. Bonus rule in effect as Coulter makes his first appearance. It's good. So Tennessee still stays in the ball game on the free throw line. Coulter with a bonus shot. 6 minutes, 4 seconds to go here in the first half. Coulter's bonus try is good. Tennessee has missed only 2 free throws as they trail just 5 points, although the Cats have a 12-5 field goal edge. Hatton in front court now, moves left side, back to the top of the circle, gives to Smith, fakes an outside shot, gives to Krigler, back out to Hatton. Left side of the floor clear. Hatton moves, goes through the screen. Tarmolin picks him up. He fakes Tarmolin, and Tarmolin fouled him. Gene Tarmolin of Tennessee drawing his first foul of the game to only 3 for the Vols, and Hatton, the only one of 6 Wildcats that's scoreless, stands in for 2 free throws. Fouled in the act of shooting. Hatton, a two-handed shooter, fires up the first one. Good. Hit the front of the rim, bounced up on the boards, and came into the nets. Kentucky leads 28-22. 5 minutes, 45 seconds in the first half. Hatton hits the second one. So all the Cats have at least 2 points now, the 6 that have played, and Kentucky leads 29-22, their third 7-point lead. Walking is called, an over and back called on Kenny Coulter of Tennessee. Hatton quickly feeds Adrian Smith. On the left side to Krigler. He's open for a 20-footer that's short. Krigler rebounds off the rim, wide open, missed the shot, tapped it up. It's good. John Krigler had 2 shots and a tap to get his third field goal. Kentucky leads 31-22, the longest lead of the ball game. Straddling the line, now Risser gives to Ammerman in the pivot, who turns, breaks on Krigler, under the basket, shoots, good. Ammerman gets his third field goal. And Tennessee trails by 7 points at 31-24 as we go into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Vernon Hatton up in front court, feeds to Krigler, back to Hatton. Cox comes out deep. Hatton calls him in close quarters as Ammerman was laying in there between them to float through to cut off the pass. It's over to Odie Smith as Kentucky balances court. Into the pivot to back to Smith. He's open from the top rim of the circle, and the jump shot's good. Odie Smith sacks up his second field goal. Here's a substitute tonight, and the Cats lead 33-24. All the way, Showalter of Tennessee lays it in. Driving down the middle, Showalter gets his first field goal to cut Kentucky's second 9-point lead back to 7. Smith to Beck, who faked Tarmolin, then missed the shot. Tarmolin was faked completely out of position then. Rebound taken off by Risser, brings it into the top rim of the circle. Down the right side to Ammerman. Hatton switches off on Ammerman, who breaks for the basket and misses. Tarmolin rebounds, lays it in. Tarmolin with his second field goal of the game. Cuts the Kentucky lead to 33-28. We got 4 minutes in the first half here at Knoxville. Smith to Cox on the left side and back to Smith. Out to Krigler now. To Beck at the top of the circle. Back over to Smith. He brings Cox out. Moe's left side. He gets away from Ammerman. Then comes foul. Coulter lays it up. No good. Krigler taps twice and no good. Johnny Cox rebounds, and man, is he fouled as he goes up to shoot. Who are they going to put it on? Kenny Coulter of Tennessee is first one. Emmett Lowry comes racing out on the floor. Showalter is hurt. An official's time is being taken for Showalter. Mickey O'Brien moves out to examine the Tennessee forward. There are 3 minutes and 45 seconds in this first half. And the Wildcats lead 33-28. Kentucky's had 2 9-point leads. Johnny Cox comes over to get some smelling salts now from trainer Rusty Payne. Man, they're hammering away down there under those baskets. With the official timeout, here's the individual scoring so far. Atkins has 5, Hatton 2, Beck 8, Cox 8, Krigler 6, Smith 4. For Tennessee, Coulter 6, Risser 2, Tarmolin 4, Ammerman 11, Showalter 5. Johnny Cox on the Kentucky free throw line for the first time. The free throws are the big difference. Tennessee staying in the game on the strength of their tremendous free throw shooting. Johnny Cox on the free throw line, getting 1 shot. Trying to jump to shoot when he was fouled. Here's the free throw, good. So the score stands Kentucky 34, Tennessee 28. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go now. Kenny Coulter in front court, breaks down the right side on Hatton. Krigler switches off as Hatton goes to Ammerman. Coulter from 20 feet hits. That's 3 field goals for Kenny Coulter. And Tennessee moves within 4 points at 34-30 after twice being 9 points back. Hatton up in front court now, moves left side. Gives to Adrian Smith. He breaks to the top of the circle. Gives to Krigler. Right side, one-handed jump shot. High over the rim and out of bounds to Tennessee as it went over the backboard. Tennessee back to the attack, trailing just 4 points. Kenny Coulter up in front court, out deep. Swings back to the right. Gives deep to Risser. Adrian Smith takes it away from him. 3-2 breaks with Cox and Hatton. Turns his back on Coulter and shoots no good. Rebounding Krigler, wide open, lays it in. John Krigler, along with Cox and Beck, each have 4 field goals as Kentucky leads 36-30. We're inside the last 3 minutes of the first half. Game here at Knoxville. Wind-up game of the season. Here's the pass to Ammerman in the pivot. Backs Krigler under the basket. Falls away and hits. Ammerman's got 4 field goals as we've got 4 men. 3 for Kentucky and 1 for Tennessee with 4 field goals. 36-32 Kentucky leads. Adrian Smith to Cox on the left side. He takes the jump shot. No good, off the rim. Ammerman of Tennessee races it down. Hatton knocks it down. Ammerman picks it up. Straddling the 10-second line. Now gives it in front court to Coulter. Over the left side to Risser against Adrian Smith. Risser down the left side. Passes out deep to Coulter. Coulter shoots. No good from 20 feet. Cox pulls down the rebound for Kentucky. Moves it up into front court. Gives it over to Adrian Smith, who sets it up. Kentucky leads 36-32, and we got 2 minutes here in the first half in Knoxville. Here's Hatton faking a shot, breaks away from Risser, and from 20 feet misses. Hatton rebounds from 10 feet away and misses. Knocked out of bounds by Showalter of Tennessee. Off the hand of Ed Beck, they say. So Tennessee down by 4 points. Comes back to the attack. Bob Risser in front court, picked up deep by Hatton on the right side to Ammerman. Breaks for the basket, flips off and walks with it. The ball goes out of bounds to Kentucky. Vernon Hatton steps out of bounds. Flips one into Adrian Smith, who looks at the clock with 1.5 minutes showing. Passes back over to Hatton to Cox on the left side. Outside to Adrian Smith. 30-foot set shot's good. Adrian Smith cashes in his 3rd field goal, and Kentucky now leads 38-32. Kenny Coulter of Tennessee in front court, picked up by Hatton. Gives over to Bob Risser. Deep, high pass to Tarmolin at the free throw line. Spins to his left. Back covers up. He gives to Ammerman under the basket. He hooks it up and in. Ammerman sacks up his 5th field goal of the night. And the score is 38-34 as we move into the last 1 minute. Vernon Hatton just now crossing the 10-second line, looking at the clock. Gives one to Beck on the pivot, back to Hatton. Down the middle, it's taken away, but picked up by Krigler, who breaks for the basket and is fouled by Bob Risser of Tennessee. That's the 2nd foul on the Volunteers. John Krigler of Kentucky will go to the free throw line for 1 free throw. There are 47 seconds here in the first half. Krigler is the only Wildcat to miss a free throw, sacks this one up, and Kentucky leads by 39-34. Up in the front court is Kenny Coulter of Tennessee. Down the right to Ammerman. Breaks out to the free throw line. Gives off to Risser, and a foul is called. Adrian Smith of Kentucky now draws his 2nd one. Bonus rule is in effect as Bob Risser goes to the Tennessee free throw line. Risser has not missed a free throw. We got 39 seconds in the first half. Risser shooting. Good. Tennessee as a team has missed only 2 free throws. They have only 11 field goals. Kentucky has 18, and the bonus free throw by Risser is good to make the score 39-36. Kentucky's going to take one final shot now as we move into the last 30 seconds. Hatton up in front court now. Out deep, just tom-tomming the ball against Risser. Now passes over to Smith. Hatton takes a return pass. 25. Clock is on the move here at Knoxville. Kentucky wants to get to the dressing room with a lead at halftime. Hatton looks at the clock. 17 seconds to go. Dribbling the ball, looking at the clock. Calls back out. Moves right side. Breaks to the baseline. Falls away from Coulter and hits. Vernon Hatton taking the last shot. Gets his first field goal of the game. And Tarmolin from 45 feet just misses. Ed Beck rebounds. And from 60 feet, almost got it there. Well, finally she went off. The score at halftime, Kentucky 41, Tennessee 36. The Cats go to the dressing room at halftime with a 5-point edge. Both Kentucky coaches, Adolph Rupp and assistant Harry Lankster, move out to talk with the officials on the way to the dressing room here at halftime. And we'll have individual scoring after we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Standard Oil Sports Network.
WVLK, Lexington, Kentucky. The time is 8:31.
Now here at Knoxville, as we stand 41-36 in favor of Kentucky at halftime, let's check over the individual scoring. For the Kentucky Wildcats, we have 3 men with 4 field goals, and 2 men top the figures with 9 points, and they're both the forwards. Johnny Krigler, 4 field goals and 1 for 2 at the free throw line, and a total of 9 points. And Johnny Cox, 9 points, 4 field goals and a free throw. Close behind is Ed Beck with 8 points on 4 field goals. Then we have 6 points for substitute Adrian Smith on 3 field goals, 5 points for Earl Atkins, 2 field goals and a free throw for Atkins. Vernon Hatton, 4 points, 1 field goal, 2 free throws. 6 Cats have played, and all of them have scored at least 4 points. For Tennessee, the top man of the ball game is Leon Ammerman with 15, 5 field goals and 5 out of 6 free throws. Next with 8 points is Kenny Coulter on 3 field goals and 2 free throws. 4 points for Bob Rissers. He's hit all 4 of his free throw tries. 4 points for Gene Tarmolin on 2 field goals, and 5 points for Dalen Showalter, 3 for 4 at the free throw line and a field goal, as Tennessee has not made a substitution here in the first half of play. So the Wildcats are in front by 5 points here at halftime. And we're going to get Bernie Shively over here to talk with us a little bit, because Kentucky's next action is going to be in the NCAA tournament. We imagine a lot of you would be interested to know how that tournament is lining up from Shive, who is the tournament manager. So, Shive, first of all, I imagine the immediate interest of the fans, since the first game will not be played until a week from this coming Friday, or virtually 2 weeks away. How can you now go about getting tickets for it?
Well, simply write the ticket.
With the second half, Harry Lankster comes in quickly to the Kentucky huddle to point something out. Now the officials come out, and the Kentucky assistant moves down to them to say something about what's going on. Kentucky leads 41-36 as we get ready to start the second half of action. Ed Beck and Tarmolin, both boys stand 6'7", get ready to move in against each other. Kentucky holds a 5-point lead. Kentucky's offensive basket this half is off to our left. So here we go with another fine half of basketball as the tap's over the head of Krigler, but he hangs on to it. Just in Kentucky's front court, passes over to Hatton, gets open at the free throw line. A jump shot is good. So Vernon Hatton triggers the second half with a field goal, and the Wildcats lead 43-36. Kenny Coulter brings Tennessee back to the attack. Out deep and to the right with a bounce pass to Tarmolin. Tarmolin watches Showalter go to the pivot on Cox. Falls away with a jump shot that's short. Up for the rebound, John Krigler of Kentucky. Flips it over to Ed Beck, who brings it up, passes to Adrian Smith at the 10-second line. Over to Vernon Hatton, deep and moving to the right. Gives a bounce pass to Krigler, back to Hatton, who drops it, picks it up. Out to Johnny Cox. Ammerman moves in. Cox bounces one off the left side to Smith, to Krigler in the corner. Back to Smith, a screen, and out to Hatton. The right side is clear. Beck moves over. Hatton can't use him as a screen. Takes Risser to the baseline. Gives to Smith. Out of the right corner. It's good on a jump shot. Adrian Smith cans his 4th field goal. And Kentucky now leads 45-36. For the Wildcats, it's their third 9-point lead. First one of this half. Down the left side is Kenny Coulter. Now passing deep to Risser. Tennessee has Ammerman in the pivot this time. Risser gives to him. Ammerman hooks over Krigler. The shot's good. Ammerman with his 6th field goal and 17th point. Makes it a 45-38 ball game after a minute 15 seconds of play in the second half. Smith to Beck in the free throw line, and a foul is called. Tennessee's Kenny Coulter drawing the first foul of the second half, and his second of the ball game. Ed Beck will shoot one. This is Beck's first appearance at the free throw line. 45-38, Kentucky leads. Beck's free throws up and in, arching it very highly with a lot of English. The Wildcats now lead by 46-38. Up in the front court is Kenny Coulter of Tennessee. Down the left side to Showalter. Breaks out to the free throw line. Quick jump shot's no good. Off with the rebound. Fight for it on the floor. Cox picks it up deep to the left for Kentucky. Starts up the backcourt, then feeds it over to Adrian Smith. Hatton comes out to meet him and set it up. Off the right to Krigler, who reverses Ammerman, goes in all the way, and is fouled by Tarmolin as he goes for the shot. Tarmolin drawing his second foul of the game, and it's also the second foul on Tennessee. John Krigler goes to the free throw line. One shot. Krigler turns around and says, "What?" Now now Beck moves out as co-captain, and he wants to complain that he was in the act of shooting. So the officials go into a huddle. They say one shot. So Krigler goes to the line for one shot. He shoots no good. Rebound by Ammerman, taken away by Krigler. Beck drives in and hooks, no good. Krigler taps, no good. Risser gets it, knocked down. Coulter picks it up for Tennessee. Out to Ammerman, who brings it into front court. Pulls up 15 feet away. Hatton knocks it down. Beck goes to the floor, and Ammerman gets it with a foul called on the play against Ed Beck of Kentucky. And it's the first foul on Beck in this game. Also the first foul on Kentucky in the second half as Ammerman goes up. Ammerman on the floor trying to pick up a loose ball. He gets one shot. Ammerman has not missed a free throw in his last 5 attempts. He's missed only 1 out of 6. He shoots good. So now the score after the hectic action is 46-39 in favor of the Wildcats, and we played 2 minutes of the second half. Hatton in front court to Krigler, back to Hatton. Outside to Cox, top rim of the circle. Breaks left on Showalter, flips off to Krigler. He cuts to the 3-second zone, gives back to Odie Smith. Smith over to Hatton. Hatton waves Smith away, gives to him now and screens, and from 35th, he hit. Adrian Smith gets his 5th field goal. Kentucky now leads 48-39. Wildcats' 4th lead, a 9-point. Here's Risser breaking, throws it out of bounds. Goes to Tennessee. Right in front of the volunteer bench. Kenny Coulter bounces one deep to Bob Risser. Risser out deep, moving to the left. Bounce pass to Showalter. Fakes to Coulter, gives to Risser. Top of the circle, wide open. The shot's good. Bob Risser gets his first field goal of the game, reducing the Kentucky lead to 48-41 after 3 minutes of the second half. Smith and Hatton talk over probably defensive change there as they come up front court. Krigler gets the ball. Outside to Hatton. Moves right. 15-footer by Hatton is good. And a foul is called. The goal by Hatton is good. It counts on a foul against Tennessee's Bob Risser. For Vernon Hatton, that's his 3rd field goal. And that's also the 3rd foul on Tennessee. Beck is on the free throw line. They have not put the field goal on the clock, on the scoreboard rather, and so the official makes another signal that it's good as Ed Beck moves in. The scoreboard still doesn't show the field goal. Still 48. Now they're changing it to 50-41. And the Wildcats have their 5th lead of 9 points. And Ed Beck stands in at the Wildcat free throw line. Each team has a man on the floor with 3 personals. Risser of Tennessee. Well, Atkins is not on the Kentucky floor, but he has 3 on the bench. Now here's Beck's free throw. It's up and short. Ammerman of Tennessee rebounds. Gives it over to Risser, breaking quickly into front court. Knocked away by Odie Smith, who steals it. Hatton up in front court, gets the pass, drops it, picks it up, and walks with it. And it's out of bounds to Tennessee. Hatton holds the ball long enough to make sure all the Cats understand they've lost possession. Gives it into Risser, who passes to Coulter, and he moves into Tennessee's front court. Wildcats lead 50-41. Coulter to Risser, deep, straight away. Breaks to the right. Krigler picks up on a switch with him as Hatton goes to Ammerman. Pass to Tarmolen, and from 15 feet he misses. Krigler rebounds. Outside to Adrian Smith, who gets a 1-1 break against Coulter. Pulls up at the free throw line, throws it behind the back of Krigler, and Beck races into the corner beautifully to save it. Over to Smith. Out front to Hatton. Back to Odie Smith. Down the left side. Smith from 20 feet takes a shot that's no good. Foul is called on Tennessee. Kenny Coulter drawing his 3rd one, and that's 4 on Tennessee for this half. Beck is on the free throw line. He's hit one and missed one. 4 minutes have been played here in the second half. Beck needs a free throw to get in double figures. He does get in double figures with his 10th point, 2nd time this year. And Ray Cooper comes in the Tennessee lineup for Kenny Coulter. Cooper, a 20-year-old junior from here in Knoxville, 6 feet, weighs 165. 9th score with 59 points and a 2.9 average. He's at guard now with Risser. Risser in front court. Pulls up at the top rim of the circle. Bounces to Ammerman on the pivot. He takes Krigler to the 3-second zone. Gives to Showalter. Good from 15 feet. Showalter with his 2nd field goal makes it 51-43. Kentucky had a 10-point lead there for the first time. Now it's 8. Here's Krigler on the right side, feeding right back to Hatton. Smith goes through. Hatton holds up, gives to Beck in the pivot, fakes to Hatton, gives off to Cox out of the right corner. A jump shot's good. And Johnny Cox picks up his 5th field goal to lead Kentucky in that department, and the Wildcats lead 53-43, their second 10-point lead. Here's Tarmolen, picked up by Hatton as Beck tried to cut off a pass and missed. Tarmolen gives it outside to Cooper, breaks to the free throw line, and Adrian Smith takes it away from him. Races in wide open and lays it in. Odie Smith stealing, racing the length of the court for 6 field goals as a substitute tonight, and the Cats lead 55-43. Their first lead of 12 points. Smith knocked another one down, almost got it. In the pivot to Ammerman, he fakes and Beck jumped up on his back and locked both legs around him. That is the second foul on Ed Beck, and the second foul on Kentucky in this half. Beck and Ammerman were back-to-back, with Ammerman having his back to the basket. Ammerman made a fake and drew Beck up on his back, and when Beck hit his back, he took the scissors lock and went head first to the floor. Now Ammerman on the Tennessee free throw line hits, and the score is Kentucky 55, Tennessee 44. Hatton and Smith moving up the backcourt. Over the 10-second line, handing over to Smith, right side to Krigler, out to Hatton, 25 feet straight away. Back to Krigler, over to Smith as they balance court again. Down the left side to Cox, back to Hatton, outside to Krigler. He moves to the free throw line, jump shot, it's good. John Krigler gets his 5th field goal, and Kentucky now leads 57-44, Kentucky's first 13-point lead. Here it is to Ammerman in the pivot, spins right on Krigler, and a foul is called. It's on Krigler of Kentucky, and Krigler has 3. Kentucky has 3. 7 fouls in this second half. Ammerman now on the line for one shot for Tennessee. Ammerman has hit 7 straight free throws. He shoots, good again. Ammerman the top scorer in the ball game as Kentucky leads 57-45. Vernon Hatton back in front court to balance the attack. Opens the right side as he gives to Beck, over to Smith from 15 feet. Odie misses this one as it rolls out to the right, and Showalter rebounds for Tennessee. He gives over on the side to Ray Cooper, who moves over the center stripe, giving to Bob Risser. Down the right side to Tarmolen with Ammerman on the pivot. Tarmolen moves in, gives to Showalter out on the top rim of the circle. Back deep to Risser now. Into Ammerman on the free throw line. He's got Beck on him this time. Takes a hook over Beck, no good, as Beck made him stretch out that thing a little bit longer then. Here's Krigler, fouled by Tarmolen. And for Gene Tarmolen of Tennessee, he's got 3, and the Volunteers have 5 in this half. Tennessee has got Risser and Tarmolen with 3 personals. Krigler has 3 for Kentucky. And Krigler's on the free throw line where he's hit 1, missed 2. Some paper is thrown out on the floor under the Kentucky basket, flipped off the floor, and Krigler's ready to go. We played 6 minutes, 15 seconds in this second half. Krigler's free throw's good. So the Wildcats lead now 58-45, their second 13-point edge. Bob Risser back in front court for the Vols. Gives over to Ray Cooper. Takes a one-bounce dribble and stays deep with it. Gives over to Risser. Whips to Showalter at the free throw line. Jump shot over Cox is good. Showalter gets his 3rd field goal of the game. Adrian Smith passes into Vernon Hatton. Moved it on up in the front court. Right side to Krigler. Fakes Ammerman, breaks for the basket, spins, and it's knocked away with a foul on the play. It's against Tennessee. Ammerman drawing his 2nd one. And that is 6 against the Volunteers this half, which means that after this, the bonus rule goes into effect. Some more paper is thrown out on the floor, and Ammerman moves out in front of Adrian Smith to flip it back into the crowd. 58-47, Kentucky leads as Krigler will take one shot. He's hit 2 for 4. The free throw's short. Beck taps no good, and Risser rebounds for Tennessee. Over to Cooper, back to Risser, moving in front court. Risser whips hard to the right side. Krigler picks him up, and he shoots high and short. Johnny Cox rebounds. Off the knee of Ammerman, it's out of bounds to Kentucky. We got 13 minutes to play here at Knoxville. Kentucky 58, Tennessee 47. Hatton in front court breaks down the right side to the corner, down to the baseline on Risser, then gives a high pass out to Beck, but they said Hatton stepped on the baseline, and Tennessee takes over in backcourt. Ray Cooper gets the pass and moves Tennessee to the attack. Down the right side to Tarmolen, who faces Beck, holds the ball up high over his head, then breaks out to the 3-second zone, pulls up and passes deep to Cooper. A weave and a break to the free throw line, and the jump shot short. Hatton and Tarmolen go for it, and a foul is called on Tarmolen of Tennessee, and that is 4 of them on Gene Tarmolen, the first man for either team to draw his fourth personal, and the bonus rule is now in effect for the first time in the game on Tennessee. They played the first half with only 5 personals and have now committed 7 in this second half. 12 and a half minutes in the ball game, and off the Tennessee bench, Don Reverts for the first time replacing Tarmolin. Reeberts. Reverts, 20-year-old junior from here in Knoxville, stands 6'4" and weighs 197. The number 6 scorer with 136 points and an average of 6.5 per game. Vernon Hatton on the Kentucky free throw line, shooting 1 shot. Bonus rule applies as he shoots good. Hatton has hit 3 free throws now, and each of them has had a couple of hops on the rim before getting in for him. Hatton shooting now for his 10th point of the game and trying to get into double figures, along with Cox, Krigler, and Beck, and Odie Smith. Hatton's bonus shot is good, and so as Kentucky picks up 2 points, the Wildcats now lead 60-47, the third time by 13 points. Bob Resser of Tennessee crosses the midcourt stripe, whips right side to Ammerman, who's got Beck on him this time, breaks for the basket. Beck blocked the shot, but a foul is called as both of them hit the floor. Beck draws his 3rd foul, and that's 4 on Kentucky this half. Stops the clock with 12 minutes, 15 seconds to play, and Ammerman goes to the free throw line. Shooting 2 shots. Here's the first one. No good. Ammerman had hit 8 in a row before missing that one. Now here is the second shot as he was fouled in the act of shooting. Tennessee trails by 13 points. The shot good, reducing the Kentucky lead to 12 points at 60-48. Hatton moves in front court and lets Beck go by to the pivot. Fakes right side to Krigler, whips to Beck in the pivot. Outside to Krigler, and from 25 feet, no good. Showalter rebounds for Tennessee, drops it, and picks it up. Over to Ray Cooper. Hatton makes a run at him, and he fades to Risser. Ammerman again in the pivot against Krigler. Down the right side to Reverts. Beck invites the shot, and Reverts drives to the baseline. Pulls up and shoots. Good. Don Reverts gets his first field goal. He's the first Tennessee substitute to score. 60-50. Kentucky leads as we move into the last 12 minutes. In the front court, Adrian Smith, right side to Krigler, and a foul on Ammerman as he tried to knock the incoming pass away. That is 3 fouls on Ammerman, and a newspaper floats out on the floor. While it's picked up, let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Standard Oil Sports Network.
WVLK, Lexington, Kentucky. It's 9 o'clock.
Well, here in Knoxville, John Krigler on the Kentucky free throw line gets ready to shoot. Then they have to stop the game to get some more paper off the floor. Some of the Kentucky cheerleaders now move out to clean up the debris. On the free throw line, Krigler's hit 2, missed 3. Shooting 1 with a bonus rule in effect. Here's Krigler's try, good. And the 6'3" John Krigler takes a bonus shot. Kentucky leads by 11 points, 61-50. Krigler's bonus try also good, and the Cats stretch their lead back to 12 points. It has been no larger than 13, and they've had it to 13 3 times. Risser of Tennessee in front court, breaks right side. Gives out deep to Cooper now. He takes it left side, cuts down the middle on Hatton. Smith knocks it down. Cooper picks it up, gives to Risser from 20 feet. It's no good. Off with a beautiful rebound, Johnny Cox of Kentucky. Over to Adrian Smith, brings Kentucky quickly back in front court. Gives to Cox, a 25-foot jump shot is short, bounces over and in. Johnny Cox catching the front of the rim, picks up his 6th field goal to equal Adrian Smith in that department, and Kentucky leads for the first time by 14 points. Here it is to Ammerman in the front court. Off the right side to Reverts. Beck invites a 20-footer, and Reverts shoots good. That's the 2nd field goal by Reverts, a substitute. And it is 64-52 as we move into the last 11 minutes of the ball game. Hatton and Smith talk it over. Smith gets it in front court. Right side to Krigler, who reverses Ammerman, breaks for the basket, turns his back now. Krigler makes no attempt to shoot, passes deep to Hatton. Over to the left to Smith. Calls Beck to that side, cuts down the middle and walks with it. And the ball goes over to Tennessee in backcourt. Ammerman whips to Reverts just in front court. Out deep it goes to Cooper now as the Volunteers set it up, trailing 12 points. 10 minutes and 20 seconds to play. Down the right side to Ammerman with Krigler on him. He takes him into the 3-second zone, flips it off to Reverts. He breaks on Beck, gives out to Risser. Down the right side to Showalter. He weaves, drives on Cox, goes under, lays it in. Beautiful play by Dalen Showalter of Tennessee for his 4th field goal. 64-54 with 10 minutes to play here at Knoxville. And Vernon Hatton brings the Cats back to the attack. Down the left side to Cox and back to Hatton. Outside to Krigler at the top of the circle. From 20 feet, Krigler misses. Ammerman of Tennessee rebounds. High pass up in front court over the head of Showalter. He runs it down, but John Krigler cuts off the outgoing blind pass. Here it is to Smith to Hatton from the right corner. Hatton shoots short. Rebound beautifully by Ammerman of Tennessee. Up it goes to Reverts. A 2-2 break, and Reverts gives to Risser. Back to Reverts. Wide open. He missed it as he is fouled by Adrian Smith. That is the third foul on Smith and the fifth foul this half on Kentucky. Clock stopped with 9.5 minutes to go. Don Reverts, a Tennessee substitute, has come in this half for 2 field goals. On the line for 2. Kentucky's next action is March 14th in the NCAA tournament. Broadcast time 9:15 Eastern time over these same Standard Oil stations. Reverts' first free throw try is no good. Hits the back of the rim, bounces off to the right. Ammerman moves out to say something to his 2 guards, Risser and Cooper. Tennessee's got 1 man, Tarmolin, on the bench with 4 personals. No one is fouled out for either team. Now Reverts stands in for his second try for the Volunteers. They trail by 10 points, 64-54. The shot's good. And that moves the Kentucky lead back down to 9 points at 64-55. Kentucky has had 1 lead of 14 points. Hatton up in front court now. Right side to Krigler. Back to Hatton. Out deep to Cox. He moves to the left off of a screen. Takes a jump shot. No good. Krigler taps. Back taps. Back taps. Krigler taps. No good. And the ball is out of bounds to Tennessee. Bob Risser gives it in to Cooper. Back over to Risser as he steps in bounds. Takes the Volunteers back to the attack as they now trail by only 9 points. Down the right to Ammerman with Krigler on him. He takes him out to the basket. Whips one out to Reverts, and from 20 feet, no good this time. Beautiful rebound by Reverts. Outside pass to Ammerman. He fakes with Odie Smith on him. Gives to Reverts at the free throw line. Turns his back on back and gives out to Cooper. We're into the last 9 minutes of play. A 3-second violation by Ammerman gives the ball back to Kentucky. Hatton whips quickly to Cox in front court down the left side. Out it goes to Odie Smith. Timeout Kentucky. It is the first Kentucky timeout in the ball game, and the score stands Kentucky 64, Tennessee 55. The Wildcats have a 9-point lead. One time they had it opened up to 14 at 64-50, but Tennessee has reeled off a run of 5 points. And the clock shows 8 minutes, 40 seconds to play. The game here at Knoxville. Let us remind you, over these same Standard Oil stations, March the 14th, we'll be broadcasting Kentucky's first game in the NCAA tournament at Lexington. They will play the winner of the Miami-Pittsburgh game, an opening round contest at Evanston, Illinois. Tennessee will make no change in the lineup. Cooper and Risser remain at guard. And the baseline men will be Reverts, Showalter, and Ammerman, who's laying back to get final words from his coach, Emmett Lowry. Kentucky's lineup goes unchanged. Each team has called only 1 timeout in this fast-paced, hard-moving contest. Coach Adolph Rupp still talking with his 5 men as Tennessee waits ready to go, but they did not call the timeout, so they must wait until the minute elapses or Kentucky's ready. The Cats are ready as they have the ball at midcourt. Here's the warning whistle sounds as Hatton will get the incoming pass from Odie Smith. He takes it, and we're back to play. Moves over the center stripe now. The right side is open. He goes over to Odie Smith, breaks that right side, gets open and lays it up. No good. Beautiful tap by Johnny Cox. 7 field goals by Cox as he takes the lead in that department for the Wildcats. 66-55. Kentucky leads by 11. Up in the front court, Cooper lets it get away, and Hatton steals it for the Wildcats. Passes a high one in front court to Odie Smith. Moves down the left side, and from 10 feet shoots to the right. No good. Beck with a rebound. Out to Hatton. He's open. Top of the circle. Shots in and out. Outside rebound by Adrian Smith. In the right corner. The shot's good. Adrian Smith with his 7th field goal to match Cox in that department, and Kentucky quickly takes on a 68-55 lead, 13 points. Here's Hatton taking another one away from Ray Cooper, and Cooper trying to save, knocked it out of bounds. Hatton passing into Krigler, who goes in, lays it in, driving good. And John Krigler with his 6th field goal puts Kentucky on top by 70-55. As Hatton quickly caught Krigler breaking for that basket. It was backcourt, and the official did not have to handle it. So for the first time in the game, the Cats lead by 15 points. On the right side, Don Reverts of Tennessee takes timeout, the second one of the ball game for the Vols. And so Kentucky called timeout with a 64-55 lead. And with that timeout, we saw Cox and Krigler and Smith hit field goals to stretch this lead for the first time to 15 points. We read the clock at 7.5. And for the first time in this game, Kentucky's in front by 15 points. Right down in front of our broadcast position here. Coach Adolph Rupp in that Kentucky huddle talking with his guards. That situation in back court there was a quick, rapid-fire thing, as Hatton, for the second straight Tennessee trip, had stolen the ball from Ray Cooper, and Cooper, trying to save, knocked it out of bounds away from Hatton on the bounce. It was out of bounds some 10 or 15 feet into back court, and so consequently the official did not need to touch it. Hatton, already at the spot, just picked it up and flipped to Krigler, who was breaking in on a pose for the gimme trip. And so now we're ready to go back to play. Tennessee is in possession at midcourt. Kentucky leads by 70 to 55. Out of bounds is Bob Risser of the Volunteers. No change. Checkers in the Kentucky lineup, but in Tennessee's lineup we got Gene Tarmolin in there, and Kenny Coulter has come back in at guard. Only Reeves remains in, and Showalter is now out. Here's a foul on Kentucky's Johnny Cox. That's the third foul on Cox, and the sixth foul on Kentucky, which means that now after this free throw by Tarmolin, which incidentally will be his first one of the game, the bonus rule is in effect against each team. Tarmolin shoots one free throw, and it's good. Tarmolin has 5 points for the ball game as Kentucky leads 70 to 56. Vernon Hatton moves up the backcourt over the center stripe, gives off to Adrian Smith, moving quickly to the right, dribbled it out of bounds. Tarmolin tapped it just off his foot. The referee fell up into the crowd, tripping over a foot right at the out-of-bounds stripe, moving up the court. Kenny Coulter gets it over the center stripe. Down the right side, he's picked up by Johnny Cox. Drives into the corner, gives off to Reeves, almost lost the ball and holds on. Passes out deep to Risser, who had to leap to pull it down. Risser sets it up with Tarmolin in the pivot, gives to him. Tarmolin turns to face back, breaks out and falls away with a shot that's good. Tarmolin gets his third field goal of the game to make the count Kentucky 70, Tennessee 58. And we got 6 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Vernon Hatton moving slowly, deliberately up the backcourt, waves Krigler off the right side, brings it to the free throw line, and the jump shot's no good, short off the rim. Outside rebound, knocked away from Hatton, out of bounds to Tennessee. Risser and Hatton both collided. Here's Risser feeding to Reeves in front court against Johnny Cox, moving to the right corner. Looks at Ammerman in the pivot and gives outside to Kenny Coulter. Coulter takes it out to set it up now. Kentucky leads by 12 points, 70 to 58. Now it's over to Risser. He waves Coulter to the left. Down the right side it goes to Ammerman. Breaks out on Krigler to the 3-second zone, hooks it up and in. Ammerman picks up his 7th field goal of the game. And Tennessee trails by just 10 points at 70 to 60, and we got 6 minutes to play. Vernon Hatton brings the Cats back into front court. Passes over to Adrian Smith. Works it to the right with a pass to Krigler, out to Hatton. Back to Krigler. He takes a 20-footer short. Off the rim. He knocks it down, and a foul on Krigler is number 4. Ammerman was in position to take the rebound, and Krigler fouled him from the rear, trying to get up to it. So now each team has got a key man on that floor with 4 personals. Krigler of Kentucky and Tarmolin of Tennessee, and the bonus rule is into effect against each team. Tarmolin shooting 1, massaging the calf on the right leg, indicating he may have turned it a bit in the collision with Krigler. Clock shows 5 minutes and 46 seconds for this ball game here at Knoxville. And the score is Kentucky 70, Tennessee 60. We have had only 3 times out, 2 of them by the Volunteers. The Wildcats had a halftime lead of 41 to 36. Kentucky, incidentally, has picked up a total of 29 field goals. Tennessee has 20. The Volunteers have been able to do a tremendous amount of work on that free throw line. Ammerman up on his feet now, massaging the leg by limbering up and down, is ready to go. Here at Knoxville, Tennessee, 5 minutes and 46 seconds to go. Wildcats lead Tennessee by 10 points. It was 15. Now Ammerman at the free throw line, ready to go with the bonus rule in effect. He shoots. The shot's good. Now for the second time in this half, Kentucky's lead is cut back to 9 points. They took a 5-point edge into this half. Ammerman stands in for his bonus shot. It's up and in. So the score is 70 to 62 as Tennessee has battled back with a run of 7 straight points to come within 8. Odie Smith in front court takes a 20-foot jump shot, good. And Adrian Smith, playing as a substitute tonight, has 8 field goals as Kentucky leads 10 points, 72-62. Kenny Coulter of Tennessee in front court. Breaks hard to the right side. Gives to Tarmolin at the free throw line. He breaks right, pulls up, and shoots. No good. Ammerman taps. No good. And Smith rebounds for Kentucky. Holds on to it, looking at Krigler, who's waved away from him, and passes to Hatton just in front court. Hatton holding the ball out of play. Moves to the right. Gives off to Odie Smith. He breaks to the right side. Tarmolin picks him up. He slips and falls. Keeps the ball bouncing. But it gets away from him, and Coulter of Tennessee picks it up, hooks it over to Tarmolin. And Adrian Smith ran into him. On Adrian Smith of Kentucky. And that is 4 of them on Odie Smith. So Tarmolin also with 4 on him goes to the Tennessee free throw line. Tarmolin that time really acted it out. He hit the floor hard when Smith came into the back of him. The official moves over and calls a timeout for Smith. He wants the Kentucky trainer to look at him, and so Kentucky coach Adolph Rupp comes out to check over Smith. Smith insisting he's all right, that he got hit in the face when he drove for the basket. The timeout is taken to check him to make sure that Odie is okay. Smith got hit in the face, knocked down on the floor as he drove for the basket. They're checking him to make sure he's all right. We got 5 minutes to play here in Knoxville. Kentucky 72, Tennessee 62. Tarmolin is at the free throw line with a chance to pick up 2 points as the bonus rule is into effect. It applies against both teams. Smith apparently got cut about the left eye as Coach Rupp points it out to one of the officials. Then by the hand signals going along, Smith indicates he was hit by a hand. So Smith remains in the lineup. Kentucky's got 2 men, Smith and Krigler, with 4 personals. Tennessee's got 1, Gene Tarmolin with 4. And it is Tarmolin at the free throw line. Tarmolin has not missed a free throw. He's 1 for 1. Chance good. Drops the Kentucky lead back to 9 points. Tarmolin with a bonus try, stands in, playing feet close together. Tennessee plays in basketball shoes, incidentally. Free throw good. So the score is 72-64 in favor of Kentucky as we move into this last 5 minutes of action here in Knoxville, and it's been torrid all the way. Here's Hatton breaking off the right side. 15-foot jump shot's up and no good. Beck with a beautiful rebound out to Smith, and a 20-foot jump shot. It's good. And Odie Smith hits his 9th field goal to put Kentucky back in front by 10 at 74-64. 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Bob Resser of Tennessee moves up over that center stripe. Cutting to the right side, but staying deep, hooks a pass to Ammerman. Krigler plays him over, shifted to the right now. Whips a pass back to Resser, to the left side to Reaverts. On Cox, he breaks to the baseline. Turns his back to the basket now and passes out deep to Coulter. Coulter breaks to the right on Hatton, goes to the baseline, falls away, and the shot's no good. Beautiful rebound by Krigler, who holds on against pressure by Ammerman. Gives it up to Adrian Smith, and Kentucky's got possession now. We got 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play, and the Cats lead by 10 points. Hatton in front court, waves Smith to the left as he stays deep, angling to the right. Now Krigler moves off. Smith goes back to the right, and Hatton moves left side, which is clear. Here's Odie Smith breaking down that left side. 20-foot jump shot's no good off the rim. Smith and Krigler fight for it, and Odie Smith picks it up. Brings it out again, whips to Vernon Hatton. He fakes to Cox and holds on to it as we're into the last 4 minutes of play. Kentucky leads by 10 points on Tennessee. Breaking right side, here's a collision, and Hatton shoots good. A beautiful play by Hatton, and Tarmolin hit him in the back with his fist as Hatton came out from under the basket with his 4th field goal. Score stands 76-64 Kentucky. We got 3.5 minutes to play. Coulter to Resser of Tennessee. High pass to Tarmolin. Spins to the right, comes back to the left with a fall-away shot just off the rim to Krigler of Kentucky, who's hurt. Krigler hit in the stomach on that rebound. And here's the Kentucky trainer out once again. Krigler was hit in the stomach on the play under the basket that time, so the game is stopped. And the clock shows 3 minutes, 20 seconds to play. And so as we hit the 3:20 stop of the second half, the score stands Kentucky 76, Tennessee 64. Ed Beck takes the official's time to come over and get a drink of water and pass along a wink to us like he's pretty well satisfied with the shape of things. Well, Beck's had a fine night, 10 points. His second night in double figures, and both of them have been against Tennessee. So here we go back to play now with Vernon Hatton getting the pass and moving it up into front court against Resser. Gives over to Odie Smith, breaking right side, 20-foot jump shot, no good off the rim. Tennessee's got it as Kenny Coulter pulls it in. He gets the balls to running. Then as he gets into front court, he slows play down to go deliberate. Here he gives over to Bob Resser, out deep. Reaverts goes into the pivot, and Resser backs away staying deep as we got 3 minutes to play now. Here it is down the left side to Reaverts. Outside to Kenny Coulter. He breaks to the right side, and from 20 feet, misses. Off for the rebound is Krigler. Holds on as Tarmolin stabs and just barely misses getting it away. Over it goes to Adrian Smith with 2:45 to go. Smith in front court gives to Hatton. Risser tried to go through, just missed. Here it is to back to Hatton. He fakes a shot from the outside and then brings it on back to the outside to set it up. He's got a balanced court, whips it back on the free throw line pivot. Here's over to Odie Smith. Smith from 20 feet misses. Tapped by Hatton, no good. Tarmolin of Tennessee takes it off, brings it out, and it's out of bounds to Tennessee as he slams it off the knee of Vernon Hatton out of bounds. Clock shows 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Kentucky 76, Tennessee 64. Bob Risser of Tennessee in front court, works to the left side, staying deep with it. Reeves goes to the pivot. Ammerman in the pivot, now gets it at the free throw line, spins to the right, the shot no good. Beautiful rebound by Odie Smith as Beck and Tarmolin battled away on even terms. Up in the front court, Smith pulls up on Tarmolin, almost got him up on his back, but didn't quite make it. Now sets it up with a pass over to Vernon Hatton as we scoot into these last 2 minutes of action. Here it is over to Beck and out to Smith. Smith looks toward the bench, then backs away from Kenny Coulter, who's not putting pressure on him anyway. Over to Hatton, end up back on the free throw line. Hatton gets it in close quarters, gets away from Tarmolin, lays it up. No good, rolled off the rim. Reeves drops the rebound and picks it up on the bounce. Hatton moves in on him. The pass is over to Bob Risser. Back in front court. Hatton knocked it away from him from the rear right into the hands of Odie Smith. Hatton was determined that ball was going to come back home. Now a minute and a half to go. The Cats lead by 12. 76-64. Here it is over to Vernon Hatton. More paper comes spilling out on the floor as the pass goes over to Odie Smith. He's fouled from the rear. Charging into the rear of him is Bob Risser, committing his fourth foul. So each team's got 2 men in this ball game with 4 personals. Risser and Tarmolin of Tennessee. Adrian Smith and John Krigler of Kentucky as Odie Smith on the free throw line for the first time tonight. Reeves comes out of the Tennessee lineup, and Dalen Showalter, the only sophomore in the starting lineup, is there. Free throw by Smith, no good. Back tap, Tarmolin rebounds. Goes over to Kenny Coulter now. Got a minute and 15 seconds to play. Up in front court for Tennessee, he swings to the right side and gives to Tarmolin. He takes back to the right corner. Flips behind his back to Showalter. He goes to the baseline on Cox, and a foul against Johnny Cox, and that's 4 on him. So right now we got 5 men in this ball game with 4 personals. Cox, Krigler, and Smith of Kentucky. Tarmolin and Risser of Tennessee. As Dalen Showalter strides to the Tennessee's free throw line where he's hit 3 out of 4. Shoots, no good. Beautiful rebound by Cox as he got it rim high. He gives it over to Vernon Hatton now as we go into the last 1 minute of play. The way we read the clock, 12-point Kentucky lead. Here's Beck, gave a pass intended for Smith, but cut off by Kenny Coulter, overleading Smith. Coulter brings up into Tennessee's front court, takes it down the left side, gives over to Ammerman at the top of the circle, and a jump shot is no good. Hits off the right, comes to the left, and Showalter knocks it out of bounds. Tennessee keeps possession. 40 seconds to go. Out of bounds with it. Bob Risser. This is the last game for old Alumni Gym here in Knoxville. Kenny Coulter gets the outcoming pass deep, breaks in, and a foul is called. Foul on Hatton of Kentucky, and believe it or not, in this free fouling ball game, that is number 1 on Vernon Hatton. Ammerman goes to the free throw line. Odie Smith has been the gem of this ball game. He's a substitute tonight, incidentally, lost his job, but came back with 9 field goals. Ammerman shoots, no good. Tarmolin rebounds, lays it in. Beautiful over-the-head shot. With his back to the basket, a one-hand over-the-head shot makes it 76-66. Cats lead by 10 points. They got possession, 20 seconds to play. Hatton in front court to Krigler, back to Hatton, deep to the right side. Foul is called on Bob Risser of Tennessee. That's all of it according to our records. That's right. Risser is the first man to foul out. Risser fouls out with 15 seconds to play. 6 points, 4 field goals and a free throw. And in to replace him is Ray Cooper. The Cats lead 76-66. They've outscored Tennessee by 5 points in each half. Hatton stands to the Kentucky free throw line. 1 shot, bonus rule applies. And here it is. Good. Don Mills comes off the Kentucky bench, and he's going to be sent into the Wildcat lineup. Don Mills, 20-year-old sophomore from Berea, replacing Ed Beck. 6'7", 190. Beck gets a fine hand as he comes out of there. Great ball game. Man, the preacher was in the pulpit tonight. And here at this funeral for Alumni Gym, that old boy delivered quite a sermon as they put the final nail in the coffin here tonight. Hatton's bonus shot's no good. Knocked down off the head of Cox. Don Mills picks it up, knocks it down, and tries to shoot. It's knocked away from him. Cooper picks it up for Tennessee, throws it right into the lap of Harry Lancaster. Out of bounds is Odie Smith with it. He's going to have to let the referee handle it. 5 seconds to go. Pass to Hatton from the center court stripe. It's no good, but goaltending may be called. Tarmolin hit it. The official says that's nothing. That's nothing. The heck it ain't. It's goaltending, mister. Tarmolin went up and hit the rim of the basket with the ball in the air. So it ends up 77-66. Write it down. Kentucky 77, Tennessee 66. As we wrap up the regular play as the Cats close out 19-6 for the season. And in the conference, they got the championship. They're 19th on 12 victories and 2 losses. It doesn't matter what Alabama and Auburn do tonight except those folks that are pulling for one or the other. Tennessee finishes up with 16 victories, 7 losses for the conference. Tennessee is 8-6. So here is the scoring. Ammerman, who played his last game tonight against Kentucky, and we're sure Coach Adolph Rupp is tickled to death about that because this lad has really been a tough one. Ammerman hit 5 free throws in the first half, 6 in the second, and ended up with 25 points. He had 18 in Lexington. Well, last year here at Knoxville, he got 30. 7 field goals for Ammerman, and on the free throw line, he hit 11 out of 14 tries. And his night's work totaled 25 points to give him the scoring lead. The other scoring for Tennessee, Kenny Coulter got 8 points on 3 field goals, 2 free throws. Bob Risser, who fouled out with 15 seconds to play, had 6 points on a field goal and 4 free throws. Gene Tarmolin ended up with 11 points, 4 field goals and 3 free throws, as Ed Beck did another tremendous defensive job on Tarmolin. Tarmolin got 7 of those 11 points, incidentally, down late in the ball game when the issue had been virtually settled. Dalen Showalter came up with 11 points, the third ball to get into double figures. He had 4 field goals and 3 out of 5 on the free throw line. 5 points for substitute Don Reaverts, the only Tennessee reserve to score. He got 5 on 2 field goals and 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Ray Cooper, the other substitute, did not score. And in case you're wondering why you did not hear from Butch Lowry, the coach's son tonight, Butch had a back injury Monday night in the Alabama game and was unable to get into action here tonight. Well, across the way, the Tennessee Pep Band is playing Old Lang Syne. Appropriately enough, that wraps it all up for Alumni Memorial Gymnasium. Man, as they set out here today, this gym has seen some great ball games. And it is, we imagine, with a tear in their eye, they say goodbye to the old place. But they had a preacher tonight who really buried it in fine style. Ed Beck, who came up with 10 points, giving him only the second time this season he's been in double figures. 4 field goals and 2 for 3 at the free throw line. Beck hit 4 field goals early going in the first half of play, inside and outside. And so Beck continues his splendid play here in these last several ball games. As you know, at the beginning of the broadcast, we told you he hit 8 out of 12 on that Alabama swing. Odie Smith tonight, who played for the first time this year as a substitute, came up with 18 points on 9 field goals. At least Odie tonight had 9 field goals. He led in that department, missed his only free throw try. And Kentucky's other substitute, Don Mills, just in for the last 15 seconds, did not score. 7 field goals for Johnny Cox tonight, and a total of 15 points gives Cox 45 points this season against Tennessee. 7 field goals and a free throw for Johnny. He had 9 of the 15 in the first half. John Krigler tonight picked up 16 points as Kentucky got fine play from the forwards tonight. Krigler had 6 field goals and 4 out of 7 on the free throw line. 16 for Krieg. Vernon Hatton tonight had a total of 13 points. He had 4 field goals and 5 for 6 at the free throw line. And this was a fine Kentucky ball club we watched tonight. Earl Atkins, who got his starting chance tonight, picked up 5 points, 2 field goals and a free throw. Earl was not lifted for bad play, but was lifted for 3 personal fouls. So that's the picture of things as Kentucky led 41-36 at halftime and won by 11 points, 77-66. And so Kentucky beat Tennessee by 2 points more than they were able to beat them at the Coliseum in Lexington. This Kentucky team tonight looked like a strong, a confident, and a very sure team. You know, it's been a pleasure for your Standard Oil dealer to bring you the U of K basketball games during the season, which closed with this game tonight. He hopes that you've enjoyed them and that the Standard Oil policy of more game, less commercials has added to your listening pleasure. Don't forget that Standard Oil Company and Standard Oil dealers throughout Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Mississippi will also bring you all the games in which UK plays in the NCAA Regional Elimination Tournament starting in Lexington on March 14th. If UK survives this regional NCAA tournament and goes on to the final tournament at Louisville, UK's games in the Louisville tournament will also be brought to you. Well, Kentucky had a 41-36 lead. Just a minute, we want to get a word from the cheerleader.
We want to say hello to our captain who couldn't come with us because she's sick. Hi, Pat.
Hello from who?
All the cheerleaders.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We did want to get that message. As we were talking, Kentucky led Tennessee 41-36 at halftime, and the final margin is Kentucky 77, Tennessee 66. Cats led tonight by Odie Smith with 18 points. John Krigler had 16, Johnny Cox had 15, Vernon Hatton 13, Ed Beck 10, Earl Atkins had 5, and Don Mills none, as the Wildcats posted their 19th win and their 19th Southeastern Conference Championship. And those are the highlights from tonight's Kentucky-Tennessee game. We'd like to thank our statistician, David Sullivan, and our engineer, Jake Harrison, of Knoxville radio station WATE. And until Friday night of week after next, March 14th, this is Claude Sullivan bidding you good night on behalf of Standard Oil Company and Standard Oil dealers. Wanted, safe drivers who know and accept their responsibility to themselves and others to avoid traffic accidents. Are you this kind of driver? Your final score again, Kentucky 77, Tennessee 66. This broadcast has been originated from the Standard Oil Kentucky Sports Network by Lexington radio station WVLK. This is the Standard Oil Sports Network.